Hi, everyone. We'll give people a few minutes to join us. When you please let me know if you can hear me okay. Please give this video a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here. So let's see if we have anyone that wants to join. Today I'm going to offer free medical intuitive readings. So read my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose. My services are not meant to replace a medical professional in any capacity. Psychic readings have to be listed as entertainment. But today I'm offering aura readings, medical intuitive. I'm offering chakra readings, spiritual clearing. So if you have questions in regards to any of those, that's what I'll be answering today. And then I'm going to do free show. And then any additional questions will be $5. I will say, please be honest. But I think the last show that I had, there was a little bit of dishonesty that Spirit was leading me to see. So I want to make sure in this show today, everyone's being upfront and honest, and I can, once you bring that in, I give it back to you. So keep it respectful. Laura Edens. Hi, Jojo. Hi, Laura. So today I'm doing free medical intuitive readings. So drop your questions in the live chat for medical intuitive readings. My videos are postponed this week. Past week, I know. It's just been really intense, I think, with everything going on in the world. My abilities were like binged. They were on fire, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before. So usually whenever there's a massive shift, either about to happen in my family, in work, or in the world, I usually feel it first. So again, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, I was just like, oh my goodness, something is about to go down. And when I plugged in and I was like, okay, well, what's the biggest threat? I was seeing something more in the lines of the government and war. And then that actually did happen. And then I was hit with some news from family that was really hard. So it's just been a really intense week for me. And I'm giving myself grace and kind of just taking my time with the video editing. I have it filmed, the 2026 prediction video, but I'm not just posting it. I want to add to it, so I'm editing it. So it's just taking me a little bit of time. Give me some grace, y'all, but it is coming. And then the video content that I have for you guys for this month is going to be really helpful, whether you're dealing with switching from like a victim mindset into more empowerment, or maybe you're trying to clear addiction wounds. I do have some really good content coming out for you this month. So be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live. It's going to be a pretty intense month and year. And I'm interested also on the show, I guess I'll open it up to dreams. That would be kind of interesting too. If you have a dream that you want analysis on, you can go ahead and post that in the box too. Just give me your first name. I'll need all of the symbols in the dream, the colors, the rooms you were in, just kind of the whole dream. Just post it in there and then I'll give you analysis. So I'm going to put that in there. Dream analysis is good to do with your friends and family because your dreams that you have will influence your tribe and the people near you. So it's important to Be speaking your dreams within your community to people so that you guys can kind of all speak to each other spiritually. Please give this video a thumbs up. So I have Laura Edens 368. I would love to know what you get about my current health issues and what I'm doing to heal them. X hyperparathyroidism will current surgery work, or will I need a second? And I will say this question does sound familiar. I don't do repeat questions over and over again. I will say that I feel like this one is something I've answered. When we ask spirit the same questions over and over again, we get blocked. So if you think of spirit as the good teacher, and let's say we have a soulmate question, we say, Spirit, is he the one? And spirit says no. And you go back and ask tomorrow, it's going to be another no. And then you ask on Thursday, it's going to be another no. Okay. So when we ask spirit, we want to come with respect. We don't want to beg. We don't want to keep asking the same questions over and over again, because then spirit starts to pull back from us. Spirit is the good teacher. Spirit gives us the subtle message. And I don't think I've asked you that, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, this one seems familiar to the last live that I had. So I'm going to skip that one, Laura. So yeah, we don't ask spirit the same questions over and over. Does anyone else have questions? A lot of the blocks that we receive, that we go through in life, are because we're coming in, we're stepping into our spirituality and ego. We're demanding, we're repetitive, we're begging, and we're not listening. So that's not how it works. And then again, from the last show, there was a little bit of dishonesty that I remembered and found out afterwards. So any questions, medical intuitive, please post in the live chat. Today I'm doing free medical intuitive, chakra readings, spiritual clearing questions, aura readings. I can extend this to pets too, pet readings. When I think of 2026 and the collective energy reading, when it comes to chakras, I think of like root chakra being rebuilt. So in 2025, a lot of us were going through shifts of clearing. The year of the 9, we let a lot of things go. Things were rearranged. And now in 2026, we rebuild. It's the year of 1. So there was a lot of karmic completion last year that we are now rebuilding up from. So in 2026, focus on the root chakra, throat chakra, speak your truth, and whatever was trying to leave last year, let it go. We'll start to really feel the new year energies come the spring. When you think of like the beginning in spring, we always think of the spring, right? So we'll start to feel more of 2026 come February, March is when that shift will really be a little bit more anchored. So right now we're kind of we're getting that momentum forward for 2026. Something else I want to bring up that I think is interesting is a lot of us that are awakened were wondering about astrology in terms of like, we know that our calendar used to have 13 moons versus full moons versus the 12 that we go by now. And it's like, okay, so if we have a calendar that isn't what we originally had, how does astrology even work? Well, it does work. What happens is the matrix, it shifts with us, it evolves with us. So it does matter, our current calendar. It is relevant to your current astrology and horoscope. You want to check your rising sign to be most accurate. And it's important to know your sun, moon, and rising. Okay, please give this video a thumbs up if you're here. Drop a comment in the live chat, say hello. I'm doing free medical intuitive readings today, aura, chakra readings, property clearing, pet clearings. You might need a clearing. Spiritual meaning of dreams, symptoms, all of that. But yeah, so it is important. Hi, Sophie. Hello. Drop a question for spirit in the live chat. I'm doing medical intuitive today, chakra reading. Please give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe to the channel. So yeah, archetypal energy. I'll just kind of get back into that. So Maria Scorpio's here, 92. Hello. Hello, Maria. She's my beautiful friend. Like bad. My throat today. I just lit an inset. I needed it in here. It smells, it's a rose inset. It smells so good, but maybe that's what's making my throat kind of close. You can put any of your medical intuitive questions in the live chat. I'm doing free readings. Give this video a thumbs up. You can ask about your archetypal energies too. I think that's really important for medical intuitive, especially if you're trying to come to a place of congruency. A lot of times we're very fragmented and we ignore, we dismiss or reject parts of us, and they fight within us. They're fighting to speak through us. And until we give awareness to these parts of us, there's always going to be kind of like this inner battle, this inner chaos. So in order to heal yourself, you really have to know thyself. You really have to put the parts of you together in a place of wholeness, which means acceptance for you, which means loving yourself, owning who you are, and walking in your truth. So today, Maria asked a question, wondering advice of grandma. Today we're doing medical intuitive chakra readings. Okay. Okay, so if we come here to, I'll go back to Maria. This is medical intuitive, so we're going to do evidential mediumship another day, but then I have Renetta. Nights ago, I was getting beaten with locks, and I watched someone get murdered. It started off as me, then ended up being someone else. Last night, I was jumped by 3 girls, and they were scraping up my grave, Mr. Grave. Now, is that a dream analysis? You think so? Okay. It's a yes or no. Is that a dream that you had? What are you sharing in here? So then I have Maria. Any medical advice? I get tired as well all the time, no matter how long I sleep. Is this a thought or is it a dream? Renetta. It's a full dream. So let's start there with the dream. Okay, so yeah, I'll do dream analysis too. Specifically, like if you guys have prophetic dreams, I would love to hear if you are sharing. So a lot of the prophetic dreams that we're seeing right now have to do with like wars, floods, fires, flames, things like that. Let me know in the box if you are getting anything like that. So we have Renetta. So she says, nights ago, this is a dream analysis. She was getting beaten with locks, and I watched someone get murdered. As it started as me and then ended up being someone else. So this was a pretty dark dream. And she's saying back to back, like for the last several nights, and scratching at my face. So this is definitely one. This is your higher mind and subconscious mind, or even protector guide, really stepping forward to give you warnings. You're experiencing something called night terrors, and it's your fears being manifested out through a vision, your night vision, your dream, your nightmare. So basically, your inner self is saying that I feel threatened, I don't feel safe, and I feel that I'm in way of physical harm. There is a need to get rooted and grounded and recenter, as well as clearing. Spiritual clearing is necessary. You may want to get a Reiki session to kind of reset your chakras, but it does feel as if you're trying to get your attention that you have a haunting that needs to be cleared. So if I'm going back to maybe about 3 years old, it seems like there was like a development of fear around your psychic ability, the things that you were seeing. It also feels like there is a lot of fear around masculine energy and not feeling safe with the masculine. And it's always like a potential threat. Like I feel like this is also like looking into your relationships to let you know that you're not feeling safe with other people. I have a service called Entity Clearing. I'd be curious to know if you are noticing ever since the full moon. Well, yeah, that too is going to heighten. It's going to heighten your dream state. This full moon was intense, man. This full moon is like, that's why I'm saying, like, I just gave myself grace and rested. I'm like, this isn't good. What's happening? We're feeling it, man. So full moons will activate dream states. That's why they call like lunatic. You know, the hospitals get full, police stations get full. And a woman's cycle is with the moon. So Renee, I don't know if it's your, moon cycle time or ovulation time, but that can also influence dreams too. So I think you need a clearing, and you might actually, she says, yes, I agree. And she says, yeah, I don't trust anyone. Well, we want to get you to a place of feeling trust again, because we're communal beings. So we have to just work through every trauma that led you to a belief system about people. So that you can find trust again, so that you can trust yourself again. And that can happen. So whenever you have dreams like this, where it's like nightmares and terrible, see it from a place of like hope and optimism that there is something you can do to change this. It's your body saying, I'm out of alignment. It's your soul saying, I'm out of alignment. So the answers are to remedy that and learn how to trust yourself again, learn how to trust others again, and really have trauma closure, so that you can rebuild from a healthier state with yourself and your relationships. So I'd recommend a few different services: the entity clearing, and also spiritual development sessions. I think would be really great for you. Thank you so much for sharing and being here. So she says cycle just went off prior to dreams. Yeah, and that'll influence dreams too. This was crazy moon. I'm just like, this is a crazy moon, man. Okay. So if we go to Maria, she says, so I'm going to do medical intuitive. I can't give medical advice, but she says, I feel tired all the time, no matter how long I sleep. Well, I do feel there's a deep level of unfulfillment with life in general, and that can be draining. A lot of times our symptoms are really messages that something is out of balance, out of alignment, and we need to make a change. And I feel like this is on the work front for you, as well as relationships. And once you make those shifts, I think you'll have more peace. And we also need to process a lot of the sorrow that we're holding in our heart. And I also feel like, I don't know if this is over on your right ear, behind on the neck here, it feels like there's an energy blockage. And spiritually, it's like I can't hear from spirit even. This might be tension, headaches. Usually when I go around the jaw, this is stress. But symbolically, it's like a block to your ear. It's a block to your guides. I mean, we hear guides from this side and we hear the deceased on the left. So it's almost like your body saying, Spirit's here for you. We want to guide you, but you're not connecting the dots to here. We need to make this shift here with work and money, and you'll feel more prosperity flow. So I think that you're undoing some either choices or a path that you've been on or patterns that you feel stuck in. You're really undoing those at this time and moving forward 6 months down the road to kind of reclaim a sense of being energized again. Thank you. Hope that made sense. Then we have Laura Eden says, I sent $10 Stripe payment for your last live. I want to be sure you got it, please. I did not. But thank you for checking it. She says, if not, I'll resend, but couldn't find it. No. And then Maria says, I feel very tired all the time. My hair is thinning. Also getting a cyst removed in my mouth. It sounds also like endocrine system too, imbalance. He's very depressed, very anxious. You might want to book a private reading. So we have good day, would love a reading. Hello. I just need your first name. Today I'm doing aura reading, chakra reading. Do you have like a specific reading that you want, Michelle? We do aura, chakra, spiritual clearing. Maria says, thanks, miss. Thank you. And Michelle, just let us know what type of reading you'd like. Michelle says she lost my mojo. So I'm seeing a lot of yellow. This is a solar plexus blockage. I also feel that spiritual clearing would be good. I had a feeling today was going to be one of those shows, but I have a service called entity clearing. That might be something that can help. I feel like we've been in the resonance of a lot of grief, and I feel a level of suffering. And so when we're in this state, what happens is if we hold that frequency in a chronic state, we can begin to attract spirits and energies that resonate with that. And it feels like there's an attachment that is also very depleting. I think over the past, if we go into the past here, the past 3 years there's been so many challenges, and you're feeling defeated when it's almost like spirit saying, I'm trying to pick you up and show you the ropes or the course to get you out of the muck. And I feel like we're kind of just missing the marks here in maybe 3 different areas of life. This could be love and relationships, work and money, and then also like esteem. And that's because someone else is in here. You know, it's like you have to get other people's consciousness out of your mind or it'll lead you. And that's what we need to reclaim for you, is your own authentic voice. So we're undergoing a reclamation. And sometimes through those processes, we can pick up, spirit guides that are not the right ones. And I just was drawn to my cards here, and it's like lonely. When we realign with our truth and our spirit team of light, we realize we're not alone. and that we are guided. And even through a lot of the hard times we're going through, it can be a teacher if we allow it to be, or we can succumb to the darkness that we go through, you know? So Michelle says, yes, thank you. I hope that, you know, is speaking to you. I do feel there is hope. We just need to clear, we need to reset and realign with solar plexus has to do with fun, happiness, joy. It's your heat. It's your solar. It's your masculine energy. In the physical body, digestion, pancreas, liver line is here. She's been through a lot of loss. XX. So I was picking up here, yes, grief. And so in our society, we're not really taught how to process grief or trauma. And I think this is where Western medicine is failing us. I hear this time and time again with clients that have worked through therapy for years, and then just from readings, you know, start to feel, I call it like online again, and more hope for the first time. And that's just reconnecting with soul, which Western medicine completely dismisses soul. In Eastern medicine, there is more respect for elements and spirit and soul. But in Western medicine, I feel like it's completely failing us. Now, grateful for it. I always say, like, if I were to break something, I'm running to the hospital. But we have to understand where we're advancing in consciousness. So we are advancing to a state where we are able to fully heal ourselves, where we are able to, we're all psychic surgeons. That's where our consciousness is heading for us. So it's a slow incline, but focus on that now individually. And like, how can I know psychic surgery? How can I send myself healing? How can I, you know, I have a headache. How can I remedy this from, you know, my mind? And where is this coming from? And what is my body saying to me if I am feeling this way? We've been disconnected from that language. So we have to start listening to our symptoms as messages, and we have to know the meaning. We need to know where it's coming from and which sense is being activated. Michelle says, thank you, resonates. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, send to anybody that, you know, may benefit or, you know, want to join us. And then I have Marijana here. Hi, Marijana. Today I'm doing medical intuitive readings, chakra readings, aura readings, meridians, energy blocks or patterns that you may, you know, have questions for, and also dream analysis. I'm really curious to hear dreams, especially prophetic dreams with everything going on in the world. If anyone wants to share any kind of prophetic dream that they're seeing. Now with dreams and your health, it's important to get timeline. And so spirituality, when you develop it, you begin to understand the importance of time. In the higher dimension, but in the third dimension, it's very important to us. Having freedom of time is wealth to some, to many. To me, it is. Understanding time is important. It helps you to value presence. So when it comes to us reading our bodies regarding something that is imbalanced, asking for timeline is important, because you can know in the past what happened. What did you do? Were you exposed to something? Did you walk into something? Is this emotionally affecting you today? A lot of times our emotions are so heavy and we hold them in our field and we don't process, and they accumulate into tumors and cysts and fibroids and cancers. So we process trauma really from understanding timeline. Like if you can, and again, this is for entertainment purpose, I have to say that, and this is not medical advice. From a spiritual perspective, healing trauma is looking at a timeline from the past that you're struggling to close. It's ruminating today. You're in 2026 and there's something from 2004 that happened and it's become your identity. and you're at a breaking point to where you no longer want to carry that emotional trauma like weights on your back anymore, and you want to take the weights off and be free. So what you're going to have to do, and it's free to do, you can sit down with a pen and paper, you can call in your spirit guides, you can tap into your higher mind, whether you speak to source or God or the goddess, your God, and ask to be shown. There's this heaviness of grief on my heart. There's a heaviness of fear taking over my body. Where did this start? What timelines are open that I need to resolve today so I can move forward in peace? And when you can get into this state, and it may take some time for you to settle your thoughts, to even hear from spirit, but that's okay. You can work at that. And when you're in that state and you're shown, well, when you were 7 years old, there was this trauma, and you're stuck there developmentally. Your mind is there, your consciousness is there, and here you are today, kind of in that state of fear. So we resolve the trauma by looking at that timeline from a higher perspective and giving yourself the closure. You being that person that was not there for you in that moment, giving wisdom to the younger you. That was not okay that happened. You were violated. This was scary. This was traumatic. And then you give yourself the wisdom, but you were there on purpose. You've learned X, Y, and Z from this experience. Look how it shaped you today. And you begin to finally have the closure that you're seeking. You finally start to put these pieces together and feel more of a sense of completion and closure. And once you can give yourself that wisdom and you say, okay, I'm starting to get it now. I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, and this happened to me when I was a small child, but now I feel a sense of peace because I can see that happened for a higher purpose. I can see that I should forgive here. I should let go here. And look, this person's not even in my life anymore. There's no need to walk around in fear. So it's the higher consciousness that heals. When you can give love and compassion and forgiveness to yourself in that timeline, this is where you really start to make significant healing in your journey. You can close that timeline symbolically with your hand, like a door closing, or visualize a gate closing. Get creative. Your soul will guide you in that type of healing. You close the timeline. So then we have, hi, it's Melissa from New Zealand. Happy New Year. Hello. Hi, Melissa. Today we're doing medical intuitive readings and aura readings. So if you have chakra readings or anything along those lines, medical intuitive, that's what I'm offering today. So Melissa sent whales and dolphins, which are like my favorite creatures on the face of the planet. And then we have Cheryl. Hello. Hi, Cheryl. Medical intuitive aura readings today, or dream analysis, spiritual clearing, pet readings. So I have Melissa here. She says, can I have a medical reading, please? Yes. So first name, Melissa. Okay. Just taking some notes here. I'm going to the throat chakra for you. There's a lot about speech, communication, and also projections. Into the heart, liver line. Melissa. There's a few different chakras I'm getting for you that you'll want to focus on. It's like from your solar plexus, your heart, and your throat. Those two are mainly heart and solar. One second. Okay. So I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose, but one of the things that is coming up immediately is it feels like if I go to your solar plexus, something's off with digestion, or the way that your body is processing toxins. Like I'm going to your liver line. In Eastern medicine, you can look that up and see how that resonates with you. It feels blocked and jammed. And it also feels, again, I'm not a doctor. You may want to look into your vitamin levels because I was getting B. It was, I want to say maybe even B12. So I don't know if you're not feeling very, like you're having like energy production imbalances along that line, or a need to cleanse, like an overload of toxins in the body, which may be you feel weighed down from that. But energetically, I think it's being led by the heart and throat, which feel imbalanced. One second, my incense bell. Okay, I'm back. You're projecting. You're projecting as well. I think if you were to have more intentional thought, this is a longing card. It's a woman. She's just kind of bored. She's looking, longing. It says homesick or yearning. But what's happening is like you're a powerful manifestor, but it's like you're projecting out. And it's almost like spirit saying for you to have more discernment of that and more intentional projection. Maybe towards health and healing, maybe towards feeling more energy or a sense of fulfillment again. Solar plexus does have to do with your sunshine. I was talking about that earlier on this. It does have to do with your sense of fulfillment, your joy, your energy production. So we need to maybe start doing more prayer and healing on ourselves versus like projecting out stress. So Melissa says, yes, I had B12 injections before. Yes, I understand that. Thank you for sharing. That's true. It's your root. You have to feel safe for you to even speak your truth, because with the throat, it's closed too. So it means I'm not heard, or when I do speak, I'm not received. So we've got your whole central column, all of your chakras need a clearing and a reset. So I offer quantum energy healing sessions and Reiki sessions where I do both Reiki and psychic surgery in one session, and it can be done remotely. It's powerful. You should feel a shift immediately. Melissa, I want to know, are you feeling also headaches around the front of the head? I feel like you're sensing some dark energy too. Like, do you have discernment of like when there's like a dark spirit near, or a spirit that is like lower vibrational? Melissa's still here. She said, yes, tension headaches. I think that, again, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe or diagnose. I think I'm not saying it's not tension, but I also think you're sensing energy. So sometimes when we have lower vibrational spirits near, we can feel it as sharpness in the temples or around the head. We can feel it in our gut if there's lower energy around. You might smell a spirit. Sometimes I smell spirits, different phantom odors. So it's a good time for a spiritual clearing and also understanding of the language of spirit, because your body will tell you, give you an alert and say, there's something near. She says, I'm grieving my friend Travis at the moment. I'm sorry to hear that. And it feels like it's ringing a bell from a previous show too. When it comes to grief of a loss of a loved one, one of the best ways to heal grief is to try to understand what happens after we pass. You'll find a lot of peace when you begin to ascend beyond the third dimension. When I see souls, souls are just like, they don't really have the identity that we have here in the third dimension. At soul level, it's like you've been a man, you've been a woman, you've been in this faith, you've been in that faith. Like, you're the villain in one life, you're the saint in the next. We go through these different characters. We go through these different archetypal energies, these characters in the matrix, but soul level is beyond all of that. We're beyond limitation at soul level. We're beyond lack. We can instantly manifest. Think about living in bliss, in heaven, nirvana, all of that. So we hold on here in the third dimension that causes a lot of suffering. Melissa says, yes, I understand that one. 100. Thank you. It helps, because it's like your friends in peace. And our loved ones in the light, they don't want us to suffer. Just as when they were here, we don't want each other in pain, especially not in the light, though. Especially not in the light when they're like instant manifestation. You don't have to you think it, you have it. It's bliss. And it's like we come here on Earth in the third dimension. There's this dualistic nature. And so we go through hard times here. We go through pain, and we do feel a sense of separation. We do feel lack at times, and grief and pain and anger and all these low vibrational feelings, but there's a purpose to it. So we always have a choice to allow our hard times to really take over the mind, take over our emotions, our body, our nervous system, or we have a choice to transmute dark times. We have a choice to learn from mistakes, learn from hard times. When it comes to healing and grief, it is a lot about nervous system regulation. And processing grief is important. The sun is shining on me here in this position, and I'm not going to get up and do the blind. So hope you guys can hear me okay and see me. I'm surprised not many more people want medical intuitive readings or anything like that today. I wanted to kind of get back into my medical intuitive roots here on today's show and offer it. But this Thursday, I'll probably go back to just like evidential mediumship messages, because that seems to be what everyone wants. But I just felt compelled to talk about like clearing today, because I know it's hard on Earth right now. It's tough. It's scary. And so you have to remember that when you're going through these hard times, you have to protect your energy. So Melissa says, thank you so much, heart, and XX. You're welcome. Thank you all for being here. But yeah, because let's say there's shocking news. It's shocking, and you're angry. You're angry. how, your nervous system gets put into fight or flight. And that's what is creating your reality, is your nervous system. We live in a simulation, and it's like a hologram. As within, so without, it projects. So what we think, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. And so when we go through these hard times on earth and we're shocked and we're scared, it's like you have to let yourself process it. Don't repress. A lot of times people will repress it and they'll be like, oh, I'm not angry. Oh, I'm not sad. I'm not this, that, the other. And they're lying to themselves and they're suppressing it. You have to just let it process. Don't go out and do harm, but you need to process your pain. You need to process your anger. You need to process the frustration, and it fades. It gets better. You don't hold that in. You get it out through speech, communication, journaling, exercise, crafts, get creative, call a friend, come on these chats here and say hello, or ask for prayer, pray, visualize. Okay, get into manifestation during these times, but process it and then recenter, reground yourself. At the end of every day, give yourself, cleansing, where you can visualize light flooding through your system, your energy system, and around you. Let's say you've got a lot going on in your mind and heart. Bring that light into your mind, into your heart space, and fill your chest up with light. Let it go. Transmute it higher and anchor into your body. And that's how you're going to get through these hard times. And all of this pressure on earth right now is continual energy hygiene, continual being present. Because I know, like, a lot of times, like for me, since I was a child, I just wanted to kind of escape. So I used to dissociate a lot. And, it kind of transitioned into, wanting to smoke weed, because just wanting to escape. And that literally gets you nowhere. And it's not even, it could be a beautiful thing. It's plant medicine. But it's like when we start abusing things, or we start trying to escape feelings or run from feelings, we tend to really get off beat with the universe. We don't feel the support, the love, the protection of the universe, and we go against the universe, us. And so hard times on earth right now, we have to face it. We have to face it, process it, and get through it. Any other questions for Medical Intuitive? Please like this video. I'm doing aura readings, subtle energy body readings, dream analysis if you have a prophetic dream. Melissa says, thank you, I will do that. You're welcome. I have to do that too right now, because I've been on 10. The amount of evilness that is all around right now. It's bad. It's bad. My friends have had to hear me, because I'm a channel and I've got a lot to say. It's pure evil on every corner. And it's a lot. So bring evilness into your space, and you start getting start becoming aware of the people texting you, calling you, the information you're hearing. How are you receiving that? How does your energy field feel? When somebody comes into your space and they're, trying to drag you in this direction or confuse you with your thoughts, or, in their mindset, these are people you want to take note of. You don't just want to stick and stay in relationships that are completely draining, completely dismantling. Protect yourself during this time. So when you get up, get grounded, get centered, maybe speak with spirit, speak with your angels, ask your angels to guide you, make ways for you, show you what you need to know to get through. Okay, so be intuitive during these times, and it helps. And you still are going to get angry or upset at times, because these are the times for it. But you get through it. You get through it, and you don't let it become your identity like we do with trauma. Don't become just an angry, hardened person, okay, with everything that's going on. So you have Amy here. Hi, Jordan. Can I please have a general message for myself, whatever is there for me? So today, Amy, I was doing medical intuitive and aura readings. Is that okay if I go ahead and do like an aura reading for you? Thank you for being here. Please like the video. Okay, so Amy, we'll switch gears here. I'm going to draw some cards for you too. Amy. I'm curious to know if there's something going on either along the lines of like allergies, inflammation, or with the skin. It feels like my body's trying to purge something out. I'm curious if there's some sort of like either reaction that you're feeling through the skin. Also going into your aura, there's this beautiful, cool blue all around the front of you. This is about your wisdom. And it's just like the energy you're generating out from your heart is very like, it's like a cooling, warm, like it's welcoming. I also am picking up, again, I'm not a doctor, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but this might be along the lines of vitamin D. You may want to check those levels. So it does feel like there's something immune going on within the body, and please let us know how that resonates. Getting the vitamin D, your skin, and extra inflammation. So hopeful, like you're planting seeds, proud, as if you're accomplishing things. I love these cards for you. She says, I have had acne for a few years. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more, but when I see it, I was like, what is the emotion that's like being purged? Because I was going around here and it just looks like something's trying to come out of through your skin. Again, I'm not a doctor. This is symbolic and spiritual. I'd be curious to know if we're holding on to maybe like the energy of regret, and it could be resentment too with this card. It's funny, when you tuned on, I was talking about anger and how the times are like making us angry. So if we're holding on to like resentment, sometimes we'll say things like, things are boiling on my skin. That's kind of what I'm getting for you. It's like your body's trying to purge the resentment and potentially even regret. Does that make sense to you? With the emotional part of it? And also with vitamin D, also it reminds me a lot of like balancing of mental health as well. So, when we carry the energetic weight of she says, I've been feeling regretful about a few things. We have to process that. We have to let it go and not carry around the guilt, not because you're holding it like a weight, and it's like wanting to boil over. And so that's your body saying, let it go, process, release it. Don't hold on. Be proud of you. That's a very clear message. So whatever it is I'm regretting, it's probably your own like fear. The Spirit's saying, have hope. We can't control every little thing. Keep planting those seeds. So a big push from Spirit for you to let go, process, and find peace. Now with your skin, this might also be, you have something called clairsentience, where you can feel spirit on your skin. So this could be goosebumps, chills, like the hair sticking up on your skin, itchiness. Sometimes we feel and sense spirit through the language of skin called clairsentience. It's like a feeling. And that might be something that's strong for you in terms of your spirit communication. Does anyone else have any questions? Any chakra aura, medical intuitive reading? Amy said thank you. Thanks, Amy. Thanks for being here. You're welcome. When my dog passed, I regretted it. Like, I felt so much grief and regret and guilt from my dog passing. And it's like, that just hurt me. That just, all it did was hurt me. And it's like, I replayed in the phases of grief. I'm like, I could have given a more powerful healing. I shouldn't have given her that food. And we start to like, almost like self-destruct or beat ourselves up over things we could have, should have, would have done. And it's just like, trust. You have to trust sometimes, and we're not perfect. And there could have been things I did differently for my dog, but this is what played out. And we have to find peace with it, with our decisions, because it will eat you alive inside. We're not meant to live like that. Our society makes us really hard on ourselves, and society makes you like regret and feel guilt because they can sell you a product that can bring a remedy. And it's usually false. It's like false security, false healing, quick fixes. It's an inner job to release guilt. It's an inner job to release the regret. It's an inner job to find the peace. I've read people like in very later ages of life holding on to these like deep regrets of life, and it's just no way to live. It actually takes you out of the present and keeps you in the past. So if we're trying to move forward in life, we have a lot of regret and guilt. It's a block to the future. Because guess what? There's going to be an opportunity where you might be faced with a decision where you might make the, let's say, quote unquote, wrong decision, or something goes left, and we don't want to just walk around in life afraid of that, because it keeps us in self-imprisonment. We have to give ourselves that vulnerability and safe space to be like, I'm going to try something new still. And if it doesn't go the way it's supposed to, that I'd like it to, I see it for what it is, and I'm appreciative for it. That's how we really begin to feel more of a sense of love for ourselves again. After decisions that just we regret. And I want to say one last thing about regret is that we live in a very punishing society. That's another reason why we take regret so hard on ourselves and bodies, because our subconscious are like trained to enforce punishment. And we see that through religious indoctrination and systems that are rigged, that aren't for us, to punish. And it's even more intense right now. I'll speak on America, where we're in a place where they're trying to enforce punishment for freedom of speech and freedom of religion, punishment for status, immigration status. I mean, everything, all of these subliminal messages make us fear making decisions, making choices. And the fear to even heal and love ourselves after we've made a quote unquote wrong decision. We can't punish ourselves. We have to stop. We have to stop the self-abandonment, the self-punishment, and we have to carry on in love. My timer is going to go off. So anyone have a medical intuitive aura chakra reading as I conclude today? I'm going to do on Thursday. I'll probably go back to evidential mediumship, like messages from spirit. and loved ones on the other side, and then like the general readings and all that. So Thursday, I'll get back to that. Today, I just wanted to kind of, the last show, there was a little bit of deceit going on. So I had to address that, and we kind of recentered today. And I wanted to get into a little bit of the medical intuitive reading. And then after the fact, if you watch this on a replay and you have, let's say, like a symptom of some sort, and you want the spiritual meaning of a symptom, put it in the box, comment box, and then maybe I'll make a video on it or I'll respond to it. And I want to talk about a little bit more on the next live dreams too. So everyone that's here, if you come back on Thursday, stay tuned to your dreams over the next few days. And what your dreams are speaking to you, whether it's subconscious, whether it's prophetic, whether it's a visitation dream. It's important to know, record it, and share with the people around you. I think I'm going to tune off, guys. Thank you for being here. And tips, donations, all of that is appreciated. You can find the links in my description box, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, JoJo Empathic, or there's a link. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Timing for another live show. All right.